Okay, in this video, we're going to be reading the second chapter for my story here. I might need to slow some of it down to develop things a little more. So if it feels like it's going too fast when I'm reading it, I'll change things here and there. Start with a recap of the first chapter, which I know I already put on here. So, well, not really a recap, but like resolve the cliffhanger. So here we go. On the way home from Lois's friend Chloe Smith's house, with both Lois and Chloe in my protective custody, a sniper with a green kryptonite bullet shot Isaac in the shoulder. In his protective custody, my bad, because the narrator's not me, the unnamed narrator. Lois and Chloe worked together to move him to the hospital in order to get the kryptonite out of his shoulder and save his life. Lois Deloy: thank you for your willingness to help my dad, Dr. Allen. Or Dr. Allen, right? Dr. Connor Allen. Kind of combined Henry Allen with John Connor and got Connor Allen. You're welcome, miss. I will do whatever it takes to save and protect my patients. In your dad's case, that means getting the bullet out of his shoulder and properly disposing of it. Is it made of kryptonite? Lois: yeah, it is. I'm Lois. This is my friend Chloe. What's your dad's name, Lois? His name's Isaac. He's a great dad. Narrator: Dr. Allen asks why there was a kryptonite bullet in Isaac's shoulder, and Lois tells him, Chloe and I were under attack by a sniper, and Dad was there to protect us when it happened. He dove right in front of the shot, which otherwise would have gone through Chloe's head. It was super scary, not gonna lie, Doc. Me: thank you, Doctor. If that bullet had been in me much longer, I might not have made it. How long do you think before this is completely healed up? Luckily, it's just a flesh wound and not too deep. I'd say 2 to 3 weeks should do the trick. I've got it pretty well bandaged up now to slow down the bleeding and make it stop. You'll need to change the bandages every other day, sir. For the first 3 days, you'll need to remain here and be monitored. Kryptonite wounds are some of the nastiest I've ever seen. Yours is better than most of the ones I've seen, come to think of it. 2 or 3 weeks, you said? Yes, sir. The first 3 days here for observation. Lois and Chloe should stay as well, given they were the primary target of the snipers, like Lois said. Narrator: 3 days in a hospital, recovering later, Dr. Allen is very impressed on how quickly the gunshot wound has already healed up, most of the way. On the 4th morning, Isaac is given the go-ahead to finish healing at home. 9 days after that, he's 99% healed from the green kryptonite wound. Chloe continues to stay with the Deloys because the threat on her and Lois is still out there. I wish I hadn't been shot, honey, but that's the way it worked out. Nothing much more I could do about it. I'll find the sniper and have him locked up so he can't hurt or kill anyone else. I'll do it as Blur Prime. The next day, Sky Jr. entered a bravery contest, which initially was a layer contest where you remove 100 layers until you have shorts and a t-shirt on. But I decided, let's spice it up a little bit. So I did that by turning it into a bravery contest, where contestants have to face various scary challenges for a grand prize of $200,000. The contest consisted of 20 challenges, each scarier than the last one. Challenge 1 begins tomorrow. Sky Jr. describes the challenge to be, and it switches to Sky Jr. The first challenge is tomorrow, and it is to recapture a bunch of vampire bats into a controlled environment. Once we recapture them, we need to put them in a soundproof walk-in containers. Honestly, Dad, I'm really scared of this first challenge. Hopefully the bats haven't spent any time near kryptonite. For sure, Junior. That's a real concern. Try not to worry about it too much, Princess. Okay? The bats will be able to sense your fear and may end up attacking you to feed on it. If you're able to not to dwell on your concerns, you'll feel much better about the challenge and pass with flying colors, sweetheart. I love you, Sky Jr. Sky Jr., thanks, Dad. I love you too. What if kryptonite is a variable in the challenge? Wear a lead-lined protective suit, Princess. If you do, that it won't matter if there's kryptonite nearby. The next day at the first fear challenge, Sky Jr. wears a lead supersuit under her regular clothes, leaving only her neck, leaving only from her neck up vulnerable to the bats in Challenge 1. Thankfully, the bats have never been exposed to kryptonite, so the contestants are led to believe. Lois and I cheer Sky Jr. on as she courageously completes Challenge 1. Sky Jr., the containment room started to make me feel kind of sick, Dad. There has to have been kryptonite residue in there or something. One of my fellow competitors got bitten and is on his way to the hospital to have the blood he lost from the bite replaced. Hopefully Challenge 2 goes well next week. Could Lana and Kara come support me at the challenge with you, Dad? Of course they can, honey. Do you know what Challenge 2 will be? Yeah, it's going to be a simulated combat challenge against several life model decoys, or LMDs, of Jonathan Crane, aka the Scarecrow. There's going to be LMDs everywhere. Dad, each of them will be armed with a synthetic version of Scarecrow's fear toxin. Thankfully, we'll have access to gas masks. The challenge is to deactivate the or destroy the LMDs before they harm us. That has a much higher risk factor than the bats did. Be careful. Be very careful. Sky Jr., it's a very bad idea to underestimate Scarecrow, even if it's just an LMD. The following Saturday, Sky Jr. was able to complete the challenge, and the Scarecrows unscathed, and even rescued some of the other contestants, too. The judges were greatly impressed by her selfless heroism, and the other contestants said, Wanda, contestant 2, this is Wanda Skywalker, who comes into play much, much later, again, after the events of Chapter 2 here. I had to retrofit her in. Sky Jr., thank you for saving me out there. Even though we're competing against one another, you saved my bacon anyways. I'm going to remember that and repay the favor if I see you in need of help. Peter, contestant 4, who ends up being her husband. You really stuck your neck out to help my sister Emerald. Both of us are eternally grateful for that, Sky Jr. You've got our friendship when this is all over. We're not going to make it easy for you. But if we see you struggling, we got your back. Right, Emerald? Emerald, contestant 3. Darn straight. You definitely have friends in us for selfless help. Selflessly helping Peter and I. You're the best, Sky Jr. Here's my number and Peter's. Call or text us anytime. Wanda, contestant 1. Likewise, here's my number, Sky Jr. You rock. Okay, there's a hair in the way. I hate loose hairs. Sky Jr. beginning to be embarrassed by her new friends. Thank you, guys. You all have a friend in me, too. Narrator, after challenges 3 through 7, Sky Jr. and her newfound friends get together to go get pizza and soft drinks on Peter. Peter begins to develop a big crush on Sky Jr. Emerald notices and talks to him privately about it. Emerald Johnson, hey Pete, can I talk to you for a second, bro? Sure, Emerald. Let's go over there where it's a little quieter. I noticed that you're starting to crush on Sky Jr. That's good, Peter. Do you want to ask her out? When this is all over, of course. Seems like she seems to like you too, I think. If I were to ask her out, I'd wait until the contest is concluded. Both of us still have to bring our A games. Yeah, I really do like her, though. You're right, sis. Sky Jr. from across the room at the party from the reigning champions. Hey, Peter, is everything alright? You look nervous, dude. Come on over here, Sky. I'm alright. Sorry, I couldn't tell what you said. Would you mind repeating it, Peter? Sure thing. I'm doing alright. Those last 5 challenges were really, really hard. I was so scared. I thought to myself what Yoda said to Luke once, do or do not, there is no try. That gave me enough courage to make it through the rounds 3 through 7. That's good. Can I be honest with you about something, Peter? Yeah, of course. Sky, what's up? Sky Jr. blushing a little. I really like you, Peter. When the contest is over, want to go see a movie or something? You mean like a date, Sky Jr.? Sky Jr. blushing even more now. Yeah, a lot like a date. What do you say, Peter? Peter blushing now more than Sky Jr. Yeah, for sure. I'd like that, Sky Jr. Narrator, 1 month later, at the end of the fear competition, Sky Jr. asks Peter out officially. Wanda Skywalker ended up winning the contest, with Sky Jr. coming in second and Emerald Johnson in 3rd place. Peter ended up in 4th place. Everyone else had either withdrawn from the competition or was scared so badly that they couldn't continue for safety concerns. Sky Jr. and Peter, congratulations on winning, Wanda. Thanks, you two. I gotta get going. Take care, guys. Narrator, meanwhile at Blur Manor. Lois, hey Dad, did you hear the results of the final contests? Sky Jr. just told me on my comlink. Nope, I haven't heard from her yet. I'd like to hear it from her though, Lois, if it's all the same to you. That's fine, Dad. Narrator, back at with Peter Johnson and Sky Jr. Peter, thanks for going out with me, Sky Jr. You're welcome, Peter. I had a really nice time with you. I had a really good time too, Sky Jr. Narrator, on the way home with Peter, Sky asks if the two of them could hang out again soon. Peter agrees and they hang out almost every day for a month. And then slowly get tired of each other temporarily, but, you know, after seeing someone every day for a month, it tends to happen. Hey, Sky Senior, babe. I'm going to the Hall of Justice to meet with Batman. I'll be back soon, dear. Okay, that's fine, babe. Please be careful if he takes you out on a JLA mission. JLA stands for Justice League of America. Me, of course. Love you, dear. I love you too, honey. Goodbye. Goodbye there. Goodbye there? Narrator, the inverse of Obi-Wan going, hello there. Narrator, Isaac is now on his way to Metropolis to meet up with Batman at the Hall of Justice. Along the way there, Deathstroke thinks it would be a good idea to intercept the Blur to bend him to his will. The ambush occurred just outside of the Daily Planet building. Isaac, with his spider sense, saw the ambush coming from a mile away. This allowed him to trick Deathstroke and capture him, thereby bringing him to the Hall of Justice to be locked up in the prisoner bay, which apparently the Hall of Justice now has. I don't know if it actually does in real life or not, but here it does. Me as the Blur. That should hold you until we figure out what to do with you, Slade. We shall see, Blur Prime. We shall see. Cocky overconfidence. Oh, you caught Slade already. Now we can shift our attention to Deadpool. Him we might have to atomize. That's because he's far more reckless and would dismember himself to escape, more than likely, like he did in Deadpool 1. I've seen him do that before, Blur Prime. You do realize we have to travel to a different reality to find him, right? I've been to other realities before. Hinting towards Batman into the Batverse. Remember the time the Justice League had to take on the crime syndicate? Yeah, I remember that. On Crisis on Two Earths, right, Batman? Exactly, that's it. Narrator. Well, on their way to the Marvel Universe, because they're all in one universe for this, just like they are in real life now, Blur Prime gets a message from Lois Deloy which says, "Hi Dad, I'm just calling to say goodnight to you. I'm safe and sound at Chloe's. Thanks for letting me know, honey. Good night, I love you. Love you too, Dad." Narrator. After defeating Deadpool and returning home before lunch the next day, Isaac asks his daughter Lara if she'd like to go get some fried chicken with him. Doesn't sound half bad. Me. Lara, sweetheart, would you like to go to lunch with me? Sure, Dad. Where to? I was thinking about getting some fried chicken at KFC. Heck yeah, that sounds great, Dad. Narrator. At KFC for lunch with Lara. What would you like, Lara, sweetie? I'm in the mood for some chicken strips. How about you, Dad? You read my mind. I was going to order chicken strips too. Narrator. After Isaac and Lara finish eating, they head home. Isaac checks his comlink for any messages he may have missed while he and Lara were eating. Sky Sr. in a message to Isaac. Hey babe, how long do you think it'll take to hunt down General Zod? He's captured Sky Jr., but I can't see or hear any trace of the two of them. Isaac and Lara fearing for Sky Jr.'s safety in the hands of General Zod. Me and Lara. Mom/babe. We have to go after Zod. We have to rescue Sky Jr. 9 months and 5 days later, the remaining Blurs were finally able to track down Zod's lair and rescue Sky Jr. from his brig. Isaac and Sky Jr. both brutally slayed all of Zod's followers and Zod himself. Unfortunately, they weren't able to save her best friend, Chloe Lane, who had her face melted off. Whoops. Sky Jr. Thank you all for saving me. Unfortunately, Chloe over there wasn't so lucky. They killed her 4 months ago. She no longer has a face. Me monologuing in an aside. The last time I killed someone, other than Deadpool, they had a chance to stab me with a shard of green kryptonite. A few days later, when Sky Jr. last took a life, she ended up getting a silver kryptonite splinter in the back of her left leg, a little above her ankle. She spent the next 2 days paranoid that everyone except me and her boyfriend, Peter Johnson, was turning against her or out to get her. Sky Jr. Dad, help! Everyone except you and Peter is turning against me. I don't know who to trust besides you two. Sky Jr., sweetie, that is the Silver Kryptonite talking. Peter, could you help me get that splinter out of her ankle? Yes, happily. What do you want me to do, sir? I'll take care of the splinter itself. You comfort and calm her while I remove it from her. Peter is successful in keeping Sky Jr. calm and comfortable, while Isaac removes the Silver K from her ankle. Its paranoia effect wears off 5 minutes later. 10 years previously, Lois was in the 4th grade, and she came home from school one day in tears. She had been crying for the past 2 hours and ended up losing 10 pounds from crying. I don't know if that's actually possible or not, but we're going to go with it. Lois, baby, what happened to you? Lois Deloy, age 10. I was being bullied and harassed at school today, Daddy. All the girls at school except for my sisters were calling me very harsh words and beating the heckers out of me. You know, because this, yeah, that's the thing. Narrator. Isaac asks Lois what the girls at school were calling her, but she refused to tell me word for the harshness of the words. She did, however, say, however, Lois, age 10 now, sobbing even heavier. One thing they called me was a skinny bleep, B-word. They would call me that repeatedly while kicking and punching me as hard as they could in the tummy. When do my powers come in, Dad? This bloody sucks. So much pain. My sisters help when they see what these bullies are doing to me. But I don't have powers yet, so I actually feel all this. What the heck? Those bullies all need to be expelled from school and locked up in juvie for doing all those things to you. Princess, I don't know when you'll get your powers, dear. Sky Jr. got her powers at age 12. I could try and help you get your powers sooner with blood transfusions from me, but that's not, that's no guarantee. That could accelerate you getting your powers coming in. It did with Lana, your younger sister. She'll be 9 soon. Lois Deloy starts to calm down and decides to get the transfusions to get her powers quicker. Last couple pages here. And it's only taken about 20 minutes. The last chapter took about an hour because I had to change quite a few things to make it flow a little more smoothly. Lois Deloy, age 10. That wasn't too bad. My arm is a little sore from the transfusions, but otherwise I feel stronger and more powerful. Narrator, back at the present day, in the Deloy family's living room 10 years later. Lois Deloy, age 20. Dad, I still don't know how you're able to be so patient under pressure and harshness. I've been trying to learn how to do that for the last 10 years. That's fine, sweetheart. At least you're trying, right? Yeah, I'm trying my best. Narrator, the next day, Cara Deloy, age 16, comes home with this to say. Hey, Dad, guess what? I was the only one in class who could solve this equation. 4x squared plus 90y squared minus 4x squared 3y cubed. I simplified it to 90y to the negative first in a tenth of a minute, so 10 seconds. Half an hour later, I was given a full expense-paid scholarship to a university of my choice, which, not gonna lie, made me even happier than solving the problem the way the teacher wanted it done in record time. 2 weeks later, Isaac and Sky Sr. get some troubling news about Sean, Sky Sr.'s dad. He had slipped into a coma, which hopefully isn't a prophetic bit of writing, because I don't want that to happen. The powers, yes. Fighting supervillains, Yes. Being able to snap with Infinity Stones and not have any damage? Yes. Harming people that I actually know in real life? In most cases, no. There are a few cases where I would be like, yeah, you need to just be taught a lesson. Sky Senior. Babe, can we go see Dad, please? Of course we can. You don't even have to ask. We'll take the kids with us. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. What'd I miss? Why is Mom crying? Grandma Sean slipped into a coma, dear. We're all going to Reno tomorrow, first thing, to see him and spend time with Grandma Casey. I'll get the girls ready. Can Peter come with? No, honey, just your sisters and brother, Clark. And Dad and I are going. It's a family thing. Okay, Mom, as you wish. Narrator, the next day in Reno, Nevada. Hi, Casey. Visiting hours are over for today. I take it. Yeah, they are, but we can all go tomorrow to see Sean. Narrator, the next day at visiting hour times, the Deloys and Casey all go and see Sean in the hospital, but he wasn't very chatty on account of being in a coma and all that. The next morning at 8 a.m. in Casey and Sean's house in Reno, I just noticed I left a pretty important piece out. Anyone hungry for dinner? Says Casey. We are. Or, well, breakfast, I mean. Dinner for breakfast. You've heard of breakfast for dinner. Why not have it the other way around? So they're having a steak dinner for breakfast. Let me help you fix breakfast, Ma. I can handle it, Sky. Thank you, dear. Narrator. After everyone had finished eating their cinnamon toast and steak and cinnamon toast apparently go well together. 3 hours later. Casey, is there anything we can help you with around here while we're visiting? Sean and I were going to remodel the master bathroom. Could you guys help me instead? I'll help in whatever way I can. I can't speak for the rest of us. We'll all help too, of course. 2 days later, the Deloys and Casey went to visit Sean in the hospital again after finishing the remodel and told him all about it. When they got back to Casey's after visiting hours ended, we found the Deloys and Casey found an unwelcome surprise waiting for them. A bunch of Russian men armed with semi-automatic guns and 2 chain guns. And that is chapter 2. I end each chapter with a cliffhanger in case you didn't notice from how I just ended that. I'm still working on the extended cut for chapter 3, so that's not quite ready yet. When it is, I'll make a video of it and put it on my channel. In the meantime, an update on that 15 movie ranking. I'm now on, I think, the 6th title, which should be done pretty soon. And then I'll start the 7th, but I don't think I've started number 6 yet. I think, let's see, 9.5 weeks. I finished that one. Baby's Day Out, Chronicle, Green Lantern, First Flight, Superman, Last Son of Krypton. I finished all 5 of those. So yeah, I think I'm starting number 6 pretty soon. I don't think I've started it yet. But yeah, so that's a brief update on how that is going. So, so far, I think I like Chronicle and Baby's Day Out the most, followed by Last Son of Krypton. But, you know, that can change a little bit here and there. After doing this ranking, I'm also working on a Terminator ranking and including the Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles show. So I'm now on the longest section of that with watching the Sarah Connor Chronicles, them or seasons 1 and 2. I have not seen the second season, but I have seen the first one. It's just been a long time, so it'll be a refresher on the first one and then a fresh new experience for season 2. As far as the number of discs, season 2 is double the length. It had 3 discs for season 1 and 6 for season 2. I don't know if actual number of episodes is exactly double, but it's probably pretty close to it. So that is where I'm at on those rankings. I just finished watching Rise of the Machines, so next up would be starting season 1 of the Terminator show. And I'll give updates on that periodically. I'm behind on where I should be for the 15 movie ranking, but that's okay. I guess I should be on the 8th title, I think, by now. Let's see. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I should be on title 9. I'm only on the 6th. So I'm 3 days behind schedule, but I'm not watching them as adamantly as I should. So